Going to be our starter on the mound today for this game. Today I thought the gameplay was really good. I was happy with it going into it 49-25. So I needed one more win to get above 5. Or I'm sorry, to get twice as many wins as I have losses, which is a really big accomplishment milestone. That's pretty cool. Because if you have a 2-to-1 win to loss ratio, that's really good. That's really good. You can climb ranks fast with that. But yeah, okay. So usually with opposite-handed hitters, like the man's I just struck out right there, I am a really big fan of the cutter inside. It looks like it's a slow fastball down the middle. And they either hit the ball very hard, very foul. It's usually like at the dugout, very foul. And then, or they just straight up swing so fast that they just swing way in front of it, and they don't wait long enough. They swing and miss. Or sometimes what happens is they get frozen on how slow it is, and then they swing kind of late, which really doesn't happen that much. But that was a good at bat to throw to Mike Trout. I think that was a 3-pitch strikeout, but yeah, okay, so Chipper Jones coming up to the plate, really good card when it comes to hitting. Defense is really it's kind of sketch, I'm not gonna lie. I was playing my buddy earlier tonight, and he had him at third, and I hit a little like dribbler over there, and and Chipper just ran straight over the dribbler and didn't even really, he just screwed it up and didn't really make the play. That guy ended up quitting. I just wanted to show that little bit of gameplay. I thought it was a nice little intro game to throw in there. The real game is against the Virginia Vipers. I am going to be facing Prestige Oswald. And as you see, I picked up the 50th win there and only 25 losses, so I achieved that 2-to-1 win-loss ratio. Really, you just want to be aiming. I mean, I really just try to aim to be positive, and I mean, having a 2-to-1 win-loss ratio, it's really good. It's good to climb the ranks. Sandberg went ahead and hit that ball really well. If he pulled a little bit more, it might have been off the wall, maybe even gone, but luckily it wasn't, and Mike Trout got under it for the first out. Craig Biggio has really been hitting a lot better for me, and he's been hitting bombs. Like, I feel like his power has almost gotten fixed. I felt like he did not have as much power as his card said he had. But after this latest patch, I feel like he's really improved as a hitter on my team. I think he just hit the 300 average point. Now, I'm sorry, but that was a really bad pitch by me. That was just a huge miss. And with Mickey Mantle, he should have crushed that. But he swings and misses, which is fine. I go ahead and swing at kind of a rough pitch with Biggio, but he goes ahead and gets on even though he struck out. And now I have Mike Trout up, and Mike Trout is going to swing and miss, but Biggio, with his crazy speed, is going to steal, get second base, and get in scoring position. One pitch later, I swing right in front of a slider and strike out, unfortunately. Same thing happens with Mantle, except I didn't strike out. I just swung over an off-speed pitch, and yeah, it went right by the catcher, taking that ball. A 3-2 count, full count, 1 out, guy on third. Important situation. I swing at it like it's a high fastball, thinking I'm gonna crush it in the gap, and I swing and miss. Gary Sheffield up, one of the best hitters on the team, and I just swing at this ball like it's a high fastball, and I just flail. I really flail at it. Gary Sheffield, I've had kind of a rough time with, but here he can poke a nice little single to right field and bring in the first run of the game in the first inning of the game. Reggie Jackson, I've loved playing with him. He's such a good hitter. Takes advantage of that 12-6 curveball right there and just hits it. He just hits a bomb over right center. That's a 2-run bomb because Sheffield could poke that single in right and get on base, which is sweet. Now we have Jason Giambi up 0-2, and I swing right over a changeup. That's kind of a common thing you're gonna see me do. I do swing over a lot of breaking pitches, thinking I'm gonna get a high fastball or I'm gonna get a high sinker or whatever. Um, Mike Trout's up. He's hitting 270. This guy, for some reason, I don't know what happened, but he just bunts. First pitch bunt every time with Mike Trout. Why? I have no idea. I don't know if he's just memeing, but when you're down 3-0 in the second inning already, that is probably not the time to meme, especially against Corey Kluber, one of the best, if not the best starting pitcher in the game. I get Mike Trout to swing and miss and strike out right there. 1 out in the second, 12 pitches for Mr. Kluber. And 2 pitches later, I have Chipper Jones 0-2. I'm going to throw him an inside cutter, and man, he's just going to jam shot that right up the middle. That was probably the slowest rolling grounder that's gotten through my infield this year. But you know what? He gets on. Can't complain, because the next batter comes up, pops up a slurve. I've seen that a little bit recently. I feel like people are dropping their PCI a little bit more. I don't know why, but I've kind of made that observation. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be rude, especially if Bot Nation Ruga is watching, but that was a really bad base running mistake. That was just a dumb error. Especially with a really solid hitter up, you never want to do that, but yeah, just a little tip if you're watching that. Tiny Boomer grounds out. That is fine. We got Francisco Lindor up. Same thing. Grounds out to first base. Not so pretty, but at least the pitch count's a little bit high. 30 in the second inning. And Corey Kluber, Roy Oswalt is just going to swing and miss there. And, no, that was Corey Kluber. My bad. Right here, jam shot, and Biggio just, I don't know, man. His arm just gave out mid-play. Who knows? Hits a single right up the middle, solid hit, no outs, and runners on first and second. This is no. Roy Oswalt comes up to the plate and looking for a double play here. He goes ahead and bunts. I'm like, frick, I got a runner at second and third, 1 out. No double play opportunity, so I'm thinking I either have to get a strikeout or a ground out or something. So I'm going to throw a cutter outside, and I get a pop-up to right field. Really a fly-out, and Reggie Jackson, with his trash arm, is not going to throw out anybody from that distance. So that's going to give him his first run. I believe that was Sheffield who crossed the plate, but it's a 1-3 game. We get Craig Biggio to swing and miss, strike out, and now we have our own Craig Biggio up to the plate, ready to swing, and he hits a ball really well. I don't know how that's okay contact, but yeah, I guess it's a fly out. That's something that I feel like happens with Biggio a lot. He just hits those fly balls to the outfield, and any other hitter, they'd just be crushed, gone, and for him, they're just normal flyouts. Mike Trout grounds out to short there, and Mickey Mantle is going to swing over a slider, strikeout swinging. That's going to end the inning. Pretty uneventful inning there. We have Mr. Mickey Mantle up to the plate here, and I was kind of scared on that one when I saw that swing. That was a solid swing. Put some solid wood on the ball, but fortunately for us, that just ends up as a fly out to center field. Now, Mike Trout stepping up to the plate. Mr. Buntman, the Buntman, I'm going to call him for this guy. Watch, where's the bunt? Oh, he doesn't bunt. He bunted every time. But yeah, I don't know if some guy just told him, got the game and gave him $200 worth of stubs. He's probably a kid and was like, yeah, this Mike Trout guy I want you to get. Every time I want you to bunt with him. And I want you to first pitch bunt because he is the best bunter in the game. That'd be like giving somebody, it's like giving somebody a great gift, but then misleading them on how to use it. But fortunately, we get Mr. Mike Trout to strike out. Chipper Jones up. He is 1 for 1. He had that little jam shot to the infield. That was a really good slurve there. Pitches I've really been liking with Kluber lately. A little bit low and inside slurve. That gets a lot of people. I really like to a lefty. There are 2 big pitches. I really love the cutter inside. I try to get the ball little ball logo. I try to get that on the inside corner of the strike zone, just kind of middle of the zone, and just throw that so it looks like it's a fastball right over the middle, and then they either pull the thing foul or they just swing and miss. But going on the game, we were gonna go, but then that backstop shot that ball back like a trampoline, and yeah, but it's 3-1 for Mr. Reggie Jackson. He walks. Anyway, going back to the pitches with Kluber, against a lefty, I also really like the low and outside sinker. That's a really good pitch. But then going back, Jason Giambi rakes a single right to the infield. I love Jason Giambi at first. There's really nobody else I'd really rather have. Maybe Nolan Gorman, the Cardinals set 2 team affinity. He's really solid. He has really good fielding for a first baseman. Maybe him, but Giambi's working fine right now. Lindor is going to basically almost pop out, but he's going to get a little pop single right past the second baseman and shortstop. That's going to score us our 4th run in the game. Mr. Corey Kluber is going to bunt here and hit like a rocket of a bunt. And this guy just turns an excellent double play. That was one of the best double plays I think I've ever seen, because, you know, he secured the runner at home to be out, and then he's like, screw it, I'm going to take a shot, and I'm going to throw it to first, and he got the double play. He rewarded himself, so he played it safe, and he still got a good reward. We got a fly out here for Mr. Corey Kluber. Corey Kluber is so efficient. You know, he'll be in my rotation the whole year, I'm pretty sure. The only thing that's not great about him is he doesn't overpower anybody with velocity, but honestly, he still throws pretty hard. So if you're not sitting on something, you know, it's really hard to hit. Jason Giambi is going to hit a ball pretty hard to the infield, and Mickey Mantle's going to kick it, which I don't know why you would do that, Mickey, but he's thinking we're playing a little soccer here, but that's fine. He's going to pinch Mr. Shane Victorino in. He's hitting 286 with them, so hitting all right. And we're going to go ahead and pick up the out at second to force out to end the inning. Now he's going to bring in Adam Ottavino. I recently had a daily challenge for Rocky pitcher innings, and you know, the Rockies don't have too many great starters. I use John Gray, their best live series starter, and you know, he's great. He's great. I'm kidding. He's horrible. He's a silver, but yeah, he's just a silver. There's nothing great about him. But then I went to the pen. I'm like, hey, I have Ottavino in here. I just kind of had him. I never really use him in videos, and I was like, screw it. It's offline. It's against the Giants, because I was also doing a challenge for the monthly program, and I was like, hey, whatever. And I pitched Ottavino, and man, he is fantastic. Here, drop third strike. He tried to get Biggio at third, which is not smart because he threw it in the outfield. And Biggio came home to score. That is the 5th run of the game. Reggie Jackson coming up to the plate and just going to rope a double in the gap. And that is going to send our boy home. Boy, Mr. I don't even know who was on first there, but yeah, that's our 6th run of the game right there. Reggie Jackson, such a solid hitter, and poor Jason Giambi has to pop out on a high and inside fastball. That's rough, but yeah, Ottavino, definitely a reliever who's good, but for the price, no. Because you have to, I mean, if you already have Arenado on your team and you really want a reliever and, you know, you're okay with having Story, like if you're going to use Story, then I'd go for the Rockies collection. It's a really solid collection. Other solid collections I could recommend you guys to do for relievers. The Indians, where you get Cody Allen. He's okay. You know, he's really wild. He has good per nines. So if you are good at analog, the pure analog pitching type, I would recommend him. If you want a lefty who has solid accuracy, Sean Doolittle for the Oakland Athletics collection is also very, very good. With Cleveland, you're going to have to get Ramirez and Lindor, of course. Those are pretty expensive. With Oakland, you're I'm going to have to get Matt Chapman, who is, I don't think he's very expensive. So Oakland's more of a cheaper option, but anyway, back to the gameplay. Mickey Mantle up. He is 0 for 2. That ground out is going to make him 0 for 3. Dennis Eckersley has been very solid for me since day one. He throws so slow that it's like, you know, even though he can locate and somebody's not sitting on the pitch, you can still react to it somewhat. But as soon as you get used to that, and as soon as somebody else comes into the game, that you just can't sit on something random and then react to anything else, it's going to be super hard. Like, if you face Eckersley for 2-3 innings, and then this guy, like I bring in Newhouser, let's say, this guy is going to be so late on everything, he's not going to be able to react to much. Eckersley with 1,000 batting average, I think I've had one at-bat with him, and I think I've had one lucky hit with him. That batting average right here is going to go down to 500, unfortunately. Big L, but whatever. I mean, it's a reliever, nobody cares. Mike Trout, 0 for 2, the bunt man, but I'm not going to show the bunt here just because it gets a little old. He takes a high inside fastball and actually grooves it through the infield. That was a good hit, in my opinion. Chipper Jones up. He is solid. Such a good hitter, but man, I could just not deal with the defense, especially at short. There's a new headliner that released. It came out the day of this video, of the release of this video. I can't think of his name right off the top of my head. I think it's like Bloom or something. He's a shortstop, 96 overall. He's going to be replacing Lindor for a little bit. I'm just going to be testing him out. The only stats he's not as good of a player as Lindor is, well, one, he's not a switch hitter, which hurts. He's a righty, which, that's okay. The fielding and I think reaction are a little bit worse on him than Lindor, and the stealing stats a little bit worse on him than Lindor, but the arm strength that he has and arm accuracy is just phenomenal. The stats against lefties, he's basically Mickey Mantle versus lefties. Everything you'd want in a player against a lefty, and he's also just super solid defensively, and that's a big stress I have at short, because I mean, if you look at who gets the most ground balls in the infield, it is probably the shortstop. We have Mike Trout up here, and Mike Trout is going to hit a high fastball very well, in my opinion, but it only is a good okay, and it just kind of goes like to the average outfield, I guess. I don't want to call that shallow outfield, but I'm not going to call that deep. Mickey Mantle gets under and inside a fastball right there, and just pops it up. Kind of sucks. Kind of a little sucky inning right there. Mike Trout he's not going to be able to get to that ball, and that is going to be a leadoff single in the 8th for Jason Giambi. Now, Didi Gregorius is a fantastic monthly card. He scares me every time he goes up to the plate. Against most righty pitchers, you're just, scared out of your mind. I don't know what he was thinking here. Another just dumb base running error. You go from having a guy on first and 1 out to having nobody on and 2 outs. Wouldn't have really mattered because probably would have doubled him up on that play, on that hit, but who knows, still a dumb base running error, and just there's no reason to be stealing when the ball is caught in shallow right. Go ahead and we swing and miss there. Reggie Jackson is going to fly out, even though he hit that ball very well. Charlie Morton, I like him as a pitcher. I don't like hitting against him. He's funky. So if you need to get a starting pitcher, pick up Charlie Morton. If you want to pick up a live series pitcher. I was just super late on that last swing. I don't know what that was. Dennis Eckersley looking like he's going to close out the game for us. And first we get a little ground ball to Sheffield, which is super nice for the first out. Eckersley, especially in a game like this where it's pretty much over, he's just really solid. He can throw strikes, he can throw pitches close to strikes. If you have somebody who swings at a lot of breaking stuff, especially a lot of low breaking stuff, Eckersley is going to be your man to bring in the game because his movement, his control is just insane. His last hope, the bunt man, Mike Trout. Still don't know why he bunts like every time with him. He's gonna try to bunt again. I don't really get that, but I have to message this guy and just ask him what the reasoning was. But he's gonna go ahead and bunt again. You're 0-2 now. He's bunt dancing. I'm like, all right, I don't feel so bad for beating this guy. But he's going to foul off. That would have been probably a double with Mike Trout's speed if that stayed fair, and that could have gotten in the right field corner. But here we're going to throw a slider that is not even close. I'm sorry, but come on, Eckersley. 1-2 to Mr. Mike Trout, down to their final strike, and that flyout from Mr. Mike Trout to Mickey Mantle is going to be the end of the game. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate all the support that I've been getting recently, and I'm trying to pump out new videos as much as I can. Let me know how I'm doing. Just give me a little feedback. Maybe check out some other content too and see which videos are your favorite. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.